I'm going to take apart and attempt to repair the hinges of a Chromebook. What you have here, it's other hinges that I have worked on already. And as you can see, this one in particular broke in the little rod. So it's fairly visible, easy to see once it was open. But normally what I've seen is these little itty bitty cogs inside the hinge, the mechanism, that they have been breaking apart. And as you can see, the size over here of these little things, let me put it down here for you to see, maybe on a white piece of paper. What we're going to do now is grab a Chromebook that the hinges are bent, and we're going to open it up and take a look at it. All right, now that we have it open, always unplug the battery. And then we'll unplug the screen, which in this case, it actually has two wires here. We got the first one out and then this second one. Now that the screws are removed here to separate from the screen, I'm gonna pull this back and give some space between the hinges. Normally I prefer to put this on my lap to kind of protect the screen. So let me get out of the shot here for a second. And now that the screen is separated, we will go for the challenging part. This strip right here, it's very delicate. So the challenge here is to get it out without damaging the screen or the strip itself. I like this little corner over here. Let me get this out of the way. But I like this little corner over here that it seems to pop out a little easier. You just got to be gentle and get the proper tools and separate the strip. And now you have access to the hinges, which I am going to remove. Inside the hinge over here, you have a screw that I'm going to loosen up. And the hinge should just drop off. There you go. And we'll do the other one. Now both of them we have access to it. And since there's nothing visually wrong with it, chances are inside the mechanism has that little cog that I showed you earlier, that now we have a 50-50 chance that that we'll get the right one here at first, that it has the broken cog inside of it. So now these fit nice and snug in there. I try to keep them in order so I don't lose track of what I'm doing. Now the moment of truth. Let's take a look at it. And this one, we'll inspect the cog. It looks like this one is the one that is actually working. It looks okay. And so we're gonna have to open up the next one. Let's take a look over here. The little broken piece of the other one I had. Let's skip ahead and get the other one opened up. And here we go. Sure enough, this one is actually shattered in 3 pieces. This normally happens when you put a pen or a pencil, you forget it in there and try to shut the Chromebook. It also happens with a stack of paper sometimes. If a student has a bunch of homework or paper, they put it in and try to close the Chromebook. When that pen is in there, it creates that leverage that the hinges cannot handle that amount of pressure. So now to put it all back together. So once again, let's fast forward. I also discovered that this is the mechanism that if your Chromebook is opening loose and it's all floppy when you're trying to keep it standing, this is where you have to go in, take it apart, and tighten these little bolts over here to make it stand firm and not all floppy when you open your Chromebook. You'll notice in here that the hinges have a little left and right, an L and an R here for the different sides of it. And I just so happen to have fixed a right side already here to be replaced. So we're gonna put it all back together. So there you have it, the left side, the right side. I think we're gonna start here with the right side. We'll put the casing back around the mechanism. And then we'll screw the little screw back in there and keep it all together. Once that is done, we will get the wire here in a second and put it back in through the casing. And the little gasket that goes in there, and not only it's for the visual to keep the wires nice and tucked, but it also protects the wire, keeps the wire from getting caught in the hinges, in the casing, and damaging the wires. So you put that rubber gasket back in. Just pay close attention when you take it out, the direction that you put it back in. It's nice and snug, protected, and ready to go back into the Chromebook. Before putting the cover, the strip back onto the screen here, we're gonna want to test and make sure the hinges are working properly. So we're gonna attach it here before we seal it all back up. Now I'm gonna put it on my lap again here for a second. And now that the screen and the hinges are kind of in place, we will finish screwing all the things back on. Now we check everything. It looks perfect. That's all lined up both ways, in tablet mode and in regular mode. The hinges look perfect. So all we're going to do now is seal everything back up, close everything, replug the battery. And now it could have been as simple as just replacing the hinges, but I went all the way to the bones, all the way to the mechanisms, and fixing those things just for us to take a look at it. I don't normally put out videos like this, but I figured with the amount of time I spent getting all these things together, and I figured I'd catch it and share with those out there that appreciate these kinds of things. Now, it's just for entertainment. Don't try this at home, or try it at your own risk, but know that sometimes these don't work, and you may not have a Chromebook after trying something like this. But it's out there for your entertainment, and I hope you enjoyed it.